Hey everybody, Prepper Nurse 1 here. Today is Monday, December 9th, 2019. We've had rain off and on all day today. It is in the low 40s, so the snow has actually been melting. So you can see it's actually off of the greenhouse right now, which is a good thing. But yeah, it's been it's been kind of interesting just trying to get things squared away. So anyway, I want to jump right into topic. We'll talk about the weather and all that afterwards, but obviously very overcast. Thanks for telling you real quick. Very overcast day, and like I said, we've had a lot of rain. Okay, so we're going to talk about 10 threats that you're probably not ready for when S.H.T.F happens. All right, so 10 things that people really aren't thinking about. Okay, so number 1 on this list is going to be no law enforcement. So I want you to think about that for a second. In a true, complete S.H.T.F event, and I'm talking countrywide, law enforcement's going to go home and they're going to take care of their own. So you're not going to be able to, if you have an issue with somebody, call the police because they're not going to be responding. You're going to be on your own. So a lot of people don't think about that because if it's just the police are always there, they've always been there, they're going to take care of things. Well, they're not going to be there. So that is something that is a huge, huge issue when it comes to an S.H.T.F event. There's not going to be any more law enforcement. And along that same line, there's not going to be any more paramedics. There's not going to be any more ambulances coming to help sick and injured people and all those type of things. So that is definitely something that you really, really need to be thinking about, okay? Number 2. Now here's one I don't think a lot of people think about. Fake law enforcement or fake military personnel. So there's something to think about. People that are not police or military but are pretending to be police and military, maybe dressed up in uniforms and stuff like that, and trying to push their authority around on people. And so that is definitely something, and I really hadn't even thought about that one myself, to be honest with you. And I think that's something that we really need to take into consideration. I mean, at what point in an S.H.T.F event do you say, I'm not listening to anybody anymore, we're going to make up our own rules? You know, those are things you really need to be thinking about, because if somebody comes around and they say that they are, you know, the local law enforcement, are they really or not? You know, so that's definitely something to think about. Now here's another thing. Local law enforcement, you know, or militia type of people coming around to disarm you. And don't say it can't happen, because it's already happened. If you look at Hurricane Katrina, the local police went in there with the military and they disarmed the populace. It's exactly what they did. You go back and you look at the videos, it happened. So it has happened before, it absolutely can happen again. Now you have to come to that decision. Are you turning your weapons over? Are you giving your stuff up in that S.H.T.F event? I mean, you're going to need those weapons, you know, to protect yourself realistically. But that's something to think about in an S.H.T.F event. What are you going to do when they come around and say, yeah, we need to confiscate all the weapons? That's definitely something that you absolutely need to think about, okay? So the next thing we're going to talk about gangs and raiders, okay? Gangs of people working together. Raiders, people that are just going from property to property and just, you know, taking anything that they feel like they want to take, because there is no law enforcement, there's nobody to stop them, and they've banded together and they're going to go out and they're going to just do what they want to do. You really need to think about that, okay? So that leads us right to number 5. You need to be able to defend yourself, all right? So that all plays in with that. Fake law enforcement, no law enforcement, raiders, you know, and gangs going around doing what they want to do. You better be ready, willing, and able to use extreme force to stop people from trying to hurt you and yours. Okay, so first of all, you better be able to defend yourself, and get right with your mind with that you may have to take somebody out, because that a lot of times is the only way you're going to stop those bad guys from coming in and doing what they want to do. So that's definitely something that you really need to think about, okay? So number 6, we're going to talk about sanitation issues. And I know I've gone over that a little bit before, but maybe a lot of people don't think about that. But garbage can become a killer. You know, you're talking about a lot of diseases and parasites and rats and everything else. Do you have a plan, for sanitation after a major S.H.T.F event? Are you ready for that? Okay, those are definitely things to think about, and I think a lot of people really don't think about those things, realistically, because, I mean, what are you going to do with all that stuff? Now, you got to remember, too, realistically, a lot of stuff now becomes very valuable stuff after an S.H.T.F event. So you're going to really want to think about, instead of burning stuff or throwing away those tin cans or crushing them or whatever, what can they be used for? Something positive that you can use them for, okay? So number 7, you might want to stock up on sanitation items. Really plan now, having extra garbage bags, contractor garbage bags, gloves, masks, cleaning products to be able to, lots of bleach. Bleach is a great thing to have on hand. So making sure that, you are prepared in that aspect as well now, before it becomes an issue after an event. Those are things that really, really need to be taken seriously, need to be focused on. Okay? Number 8, we're going to talk about mental and physical health issues. Okay? So maintaining a positive mental attitude, okay, in a survival situation. That's number 8. And so, again, you're talking about a situation where worst case scenario has happened. Maybe you don't know where all your loved ones are. Maybe everybody hasn't got to that safe bug-out location. And so, that's going to weigh on you mentally. It really, really is going to weigh on you mentally. And dealing with high stress in those type of situations, okay? It's going to be very, very difficult to try to stay focused, especially early on. Okay, so here's a couple of different of the issues. Early on, the shock of everything is just going to be unbelievable. Dealing with the situation, dealing with the things that you're seeing, probably for the first times in your lives that you're not used to seeing, rapes, murders, people just being absolutely insane, doing just crazy things because there's nobody to stop them from doing whatever they want to do. Okay, so that leads us right into number 8, which is oh no, I'm still talking. I'm sorry. Blech. Okay, so that was number 8. We're talking about the positive mental attitude and in trying to stay positive in that situation. So let's go to number 9. Number 9 is being ready to face a number of physical and mental challenges. So we're going to get back into the mental part of it here in a second. But I want you to think about, so we're talking about those high stress situations, right? You're under a lot of pressure, under a lot of stress. Now let's add into that lack of sleep, all right? High stress, which we already talked about that. Not enough water. So you're not having proper hydration, so that's going to cause, headaches and all those type of things. Hunger, throw hunger in on top of that. Not enough food. Maybe you're cold. Maybe dealing with the weather you're not being able to be warm enough. And again, a lot of high stress. Dealing with people that you care about, having them been killed in front of you, and you're still trying to survive. Those are very, very hard things to have to deal with and to think about in that type of a situation. So that would, definitely something to think about, plan for. I mean, how do you plan for that realistically? But if you can visualize it, try to prepare yourself as best that you can, that's going to be a huge thing that's going to be able to help you. All right, and number 10 is you're going to be cut off from communications from the outside world. So maybe you don't have the ham radio, CB, or any of those types of other communications, so you don't know what's going on. You don't know what is happening in that type of situation. So it would be very, very highly stressful. And so again, those are things that are going to weigh on you because you don't know when is this going to end. You know, is this just starting? Is it going to be a short duration event? Is it going to be a long-term event? Those are definitely things that are going to play on a lot of people's minds. You know, being able to have those communications and things ahead of time are definitely going to help the situation, because then you're going to have information on what's going on elsewhere and who's doing what and those type of things. And again, guys, a lot of this goes down to, if you have a plan in place ahead of time, as far as like stress, let's talk about that for a second. Having that plan in place ahead of time. So if you have that plan in place ahead of time and everybody in your family knows exactly what they need to do, what they have to do, you don't have to worry about it, because you know where they're going to be, you hope, and they have a plan on how to get to that situation. So those are things to think about, okay? And so just wanted to share those 10 things with you. I definitely want to hear your feedback on this topic. I think it is an important topic. These dogs are so funny. Now, somebody had told me, oh no, they won't go under the chicken coop. They do all the time. They go under the chicken coop all the time. Now, I do have a neighbor, I wanted to mention this, that came over here the other day, and she has a dog house. Oh, look at this. What do you got? Something to play with? Something to play with? Huh? Crazies. She has a dog house that she's willing to give me, but it's going to take about 3 of us to get it here and to get it in here. So I'm absolutely going to take her up on that offer, so that they have something to get out of the weather if they want to when they're out here. So I wanted to show you one of the things that I did do today. I had gone yesterday, let me just show you in here, and I had picked up fresh bedding, and I didn't take the old bedding out. I just added 2 more bales of the pine shavings on top of everything else. And so that way it gives them, you know, like I said, an extra layer of protection. In the nesting boxes, I put all new bedding also in the nesting boxes for them as well. But, you know, so what I'm doing now with the water, I'm just leaving that top completely off, and they just have as much or little of water as they want. You know, because of the fact of everything was freezing with the colder temperatures. But like I said, it's been milder, so it's been better. But so yeah, they're good. They're doing well. They're healthy. I got 3 eggs so far today from the chickens, so you know that's a good thing. Let's see how I'm just having a drink right there out of the top. But yeah, they're doing really, really well. But trying to stay on top of things. There's not any smell in here. It smells pretty good. So like I said, what I'm just going to do over the course of the winter is periodically I'll get a couple more of the pine shavings, and I'll just put it over the top of everything that's already in here, and it just gives them that extra layer of, you know, from underneath, so they have that extra insulation as well that way. But this chicken coop, guys, if anybody remembers, I insulated the crap out of this chicken coop. So, you know, that's it's definitely squared away so that they're, you know, in a safety area. It's warm for them. I mean, obviously, when it gets super cold, then you're going to still have, you know, it's going to be cold, but that just affects what they're going to lay at that point more than anything else. But no, they're doing good. They're doing good, and there's Foghorn and Leghorn hanging outside, just seeing what's going on. But they're pretty good. So anyway, that's what's going on. Realistically, not a whole lot. Just actually went and did my laundry today. I got that caught up. Trying to still catch up from being sick and not being able to do anything. So getting laundry done was the next thing that I absolutely had to do, and so it was way overdue. So that is now taken care of, and but that's it. And so I just wanted to make sure the birds were squared away. So I had picked those up yesterday, and I put them in there today. And that's it. Just kind of doing little things right now. Still trying to recover. I'm trying to take it easy. We're going to try on Friday to work on the greenhouse some more. Like I said, it's been raining off and on all day today. The forecast is rain for all day tomorrow, but then they're calling for Friday. It's going to be like 40 again, but there's not going to be any rain. So like right now, of course, it's not raining while I'm making this video, but that's, you know, of course, how it goes. But anyway, so that's what's happening, guys. I want to definitely hear your feedback on this topic. I want to hear what you guys have to say. And just remember, you know, we are all in this together. That is important to remember. Also remember to hug and kiss the ones you love. Tell them every single day. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. We never know what's going to happen in life. That's important as well. Also remember, guys, STD. It's one step at a time, one thing at a time, and one day at a time. Whatever you're trying to do, whatever you're trying to accomplish, you can do it. The only one that's going to stop you from getting there is you. Nobody else can stop you. All right? I hope you all have a great day. Prepper Nurse 1, out for now.